The Elite Gallus Gallus, The Case of the Nuclear Tangerine Phony by K. Brad Barfield. Prologue, The Orange Feather Event and the Physics of the 180. It has been said by men with more degrees than common sense that history repeats itself, usually as a tragedy and then as a farce. In the poultry barns of Ashley County, Arkansas, we do not have time for farce. We have only the molt, the lay, and the fryer. But occasionally, something happens in the genetic code of the yard, a mutation of spirit rather than biology, that forces a man to reconsider the laws of gravity and the nutritional value of grit. We call it the 180. It began not with a crow, but with a hue. Standard poultry science tells us that the Gallus Gallus domesticus comes in a respectable variety of earth tones: the Rhode Island Red, the barred rock, the Buff Orpington. These are honest colors. They absorb light. They do not argue with the sun. Then came the Gallus Gallus citrus. The bird in question, a rooster of indeterminate lineage and aggressive plumage, did not just enter the coop, he descended upon it like a crop duster filled with radioactive tangelo juice. He did not scratch for corn. He demanded the corn apologize for being hidden. He did not adhere to the pecking order. He claimed the order was rigged by a syndicate of liberal hawks and basement-dwelling weasels. I'm writing this account not to validate the hysteria that followed, but to document the peculiar physics of the 180. This is the belief, held by a growing number of otherwise sensible capons and hens, that if you deny reality with enough confidence, reality will eventually get embarrassed and leave the room. The events chronicled here took place in the westernmost reaches of Egypt Township, a place where the pine trees grow straight because they are afraid to lean left. It was here, amidst the humidity and the hum of the cicadas, that I witnessed the rise of the nuclear tangerine. I saw good birds, birds who knew the difference between a fence post and a fox, suddenly decided that the fence was a conspiracy and the fox was a misunderstood entrepreneur. They say you cannot cheat an honest man, but you can certainly confuse a bored chicken. And in the summer of the Orange Feather event, the boredom in the bottoms was thick enough to chew. We were looking for a savior, or at least a distraction. We found both in a rooster who claimed he could lay an egg if he wanted to, but simply chose not to because the market was soft. This is the story of that rooster. It is also the story of Dub Polet, a capon who looked into the abyss and saw a business opportunity. And mostly, it's the story of how we all learned that when you turn your back on the truth, you're just presenting a better target for the boot. Let the record show, I never bought the hat, but I did eat the popcorn.